Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and we are here for a review. This is a review I've been trying to do for a while, and it's finally happening. Dun, dun, dun. So, we are obviously here to talk about the Big Twist Fleck yarn. This is a 85% acrylic, 10% polyamide, 5% linen, 208 yard, 3.5 ounces, 190 meters, 100 gram, ball of yarn. Big Twist is a Joann house brand. This has been out for, what, maybe 2 months now? So it's been out for a while. I have used this in a project, and it was a knit project. I was very happy with the knit project. I liked it a lot. So let's talk about actually I have a ball band from one here for the, all the goodies. They want a US 6 4mm knitting needle and a US G6 4mm crochet hook. It's classified as a medium 4. When I first saw it, I thought it was a little on the thin side, but working with it, I definitely agree with the 4 classification. It is machine washable, low iron, do not bleach, no triangles, do not tumble dry, dry flat. The colorway I'll be showing in my demonstration is Vanilla Bean. This colorway is Cotton Candy. And so what's cool about the Fleck is the content. There's not a lot of acrylic polyamide linen blends out there. It has a very, I'm going to say almost cottony feel. It's very interesting. I will say it does dry my hands out working with it. So I'm actually going to pop on a little lotion here because they're looking a little dry right now. The main feature of this is it has, for the most part, they are very light pastel-y backgrounds with these colored flecks in it. And it just gives it a little interest, a little pizzazz, which I always love. I love flex yarns. Sometimes they'll be tweedy, all that stuff that just gives a little something extra to the yarn, that gives a little extra interest to your fabric rather than just a flat plain color. Nothing to say there's anything wrong with a flat plain color. It's something I enjoy. So I was immediately attracted to this yarn and very hopeful for it. So real quick, let's go through the cost of it. This is $6.99 US per ball. It has been on sale, and it is on sale right now for $2.99, which I think is a fair price, a very fair price for this yarn, for this much yarn. It's a great deal. Of course, if you don't like it, no yarn is a great deal if you don't like it. And let's go ahead. I'll move this off to the side and get to some of my thoughts while testing it. Actually, we're going to do the knit test first. So in my project, I did use a skein and a skosh in my project. In the ball I used, the full ball, there were no knots or joins within it, so that was very nice. I didn't notice any imperfections. Let's see if I'm on camera. Feels like I am. So I've already gone on and cast on either 15 or 20, I don't recall, and I've done 1 row of knit stitch just to get the base going. I am using the recommended size 6 knitting needles. You can't see it. These are actually one of the original knitting needles my grandmother gave me when I learned to crochet with her. So they are very well used, but they are a bit long for this table and holding it to show you how it works. Oh no. Oh, maybe I have it on the wrong needles here. I looked for a DPN and I didn't find it right away. Let me see if I can poke around and find a size 6 DPN or something. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. I've got a 16-inch circ right here, Clover Takumi. Let's switch to that. So the only reason I'm switching is the length of the needles and using it on this table. I'm not having any issue with, I'm doing this like a weirdo. I'm not having any issues with the, that's wrong. It's totally wrong. Oh, it'll be fine. I'm not having any issues with the metal hook and the usage. It was sliding very, very nicely. The issue is the needles hitting the table as I'm trying to show you what I'm knitting, and it was very awkward to hold. Oh, I split the yarn there. So that is the one main complaint I have on this yarn. I also here started a crochet swatch, and I had not crocheted with the yarn before. And oh, who cares? And the splitting became an issue for me with the crochet that was not an issue for me as I was knitting either the hat I had previously made or starting this swatch. Now, let me see, am I on camera? I am. Much nicer, much easier here. So, as you can see, it's moving very nicely. So I'm not wrapping the yarn around my finger or anything like that because I've pulled the yarn the wrong way. And how I hold the yarn on my hand, having it pulled here through the circs as I have it, it would not be conducive to my hold. So we're gonna just make do here with my purl row. My goal here is to get you a couple of nice rows of stockinette so you can see how the fabric looks. What I loved about the hat I made was the denseness and the warmth of the fabric. The hat did use the size 6 needles, and it was a very nice fabric. I really quite liked it. There we go. We're gonna do a knit row and get all, first let me get a little extra yarn off the ball. For this one, I've already started a crochet swatch and it's going from the center pull. So I'm working the knit swatch off of the outside pull. Come here, stitch. Okay. And this is sliding nicely off of my bamboo needles here. I'm not having any sort of an issue. As you can see, I really like, is that noise my table rocking? Yes, it is. Okay. I like it. I think this makes a very nice knit fabric. I am a great fan of it as a knit. As I said, the yarn is splitty, but I'm not finding it to be an issue. Come on, last stitch. An issue with me as I knit. And it's got very nice stitch definition. As you can see with the 4mm size 6 needle, it is a very dense, very close fabric. I think you could very easily work with a larger needle, 4.5 or even a 5mm. I think would be very nice. And it is like nice and thick and kind of bouncy. It's got very small linen amount, only 5% linen. So I don't feel like linen is often stiff and all of that. I think the linen is giving it its cottony feel, but I don't think it's offering any, it's giving any of the other people. People don't like linen because it's kind of tough, maybe. So there you can see it frogged perfectly. Not a snag, not an issue. And that was just a small swatch. Let's move on to my knit swatch. So what I've done is I've cast on 11 and skipped the first stitch, single crocheted 10 stitches. And while I was casting on, you can see here, I split the stitch. I was unable to recover and had to just keep moving. So that was annoying. Out of the 10 I crocheted, it did split a couple of times, but I was able to back out of the stitch and redo the stitch, and it came out perfectly. I am using my 4mm furls on this one. It's such a pretty sparkly pink with the gold sparkle. Okay, so we're going to chain up 1, turn our work. Let's go ahead and do another row of singles and see what happens here. Oops. Well, that wasn't the yarn's fault. That was my fault. Oh, I need to change the orientation of the skein. There we go. Never works if you're trying to pull and the wrong end is facing you. There you go. A split, but easy recovery. So we'll say 1. Oh, I don't know if you count that as split. I guess we will. 2. Oh, I split it there again. 3, 4, because that technically split on the through. That was a clean one. That was clean. Man, I am on the struggle bus with this one. Not a clean. There was barely a clean stitch in there. So we're gonna we're gonna try to chain 1. We're gonna try to do a row of half doubles. Oh no. That totally split. I only caught a portion of it through. Okay. There we go. And pull through. That was okay. Once I took it off, it recovered nicely. Oh, we're doing promising on the half doubles so far. A little hiccup at the front, but the rest, okay, no, that wasn't a split. I just didn't pull it all the way through. Split. Okay. I've totally lost count of splits. Are we at like 8? No, more than 8. Because that first row the first row I showed you, almost every single one split. I will say it is a very, very slick on this needle. I wonder if it's because it's the resin hook. I'm going to do another row of half doubles, see how it goes. Oh, see, I keep not somehow catching the full strand when I do my pull through. Split, was able to recover. What I will say here in the crocheting split, I am feeling, oh man, I'm feeling the flecks as they come through, and it almost feels like, when you're working with a full-bodied wool, shall we call it, and maybe a piece of straw, you hope, is stuck in it. I guess natural material. And that hits your hand. It almost feels like that. It's, oh, come on. It's not comfortable. But it was not an issue when I was, what am I doing? I don't want to do triples. That was not an issue I had while I was knitting with it. I hold my yarn very differently when I knit and crochet. What am I doing there? I'm blabbering and not paying attention to my stitches. But I am, well, I guess I'm not blabbering. I'm reviewing. I think I hold my yarn Oh, I split that stitch. I'm just going for it. It's not picking. There we go. I picked up clean. Got clean pickups. It's when I pull the loop through, that's when I'm having the splitting issue. Okay, we've got some nice clean goes here. Let's get into that. Let's chain one. Let's give you one more chance. Yarn. So I already, did I mess that up again? Oh, who cares? I'm just going. This is like, okay. I don't want to do any spoiler alerts here, but I am, oh, that one really split badly. Okay, I am forging ahead. I am no longer concerned. There again. When I'm doing my pull through, often I'm only catching a couple of the strands. That is highly annoying. And, okay, so we did that. I could not even attempt to count the number of bad stitches I had there. It was rough. Let's see if it frogs with all those splits. I'm worried. Oh, no, it's frogging just fine. The splits must have not caused an issue. There is not much halo here to speak of. Yeah, even that bad split I had with the cast on didn't cause an issue on the frogging. I'm just going to quickly wrap up this excess yarn so it's not getting all tangled and wonky on the table. And let's take a look here. So we already talked, I didn't find any knots, snags, or imperfection in the yarn I used here or in the yarn when I use that full skein on the hat I made. I didn't have anything like that. It frogged nicely even with all of the snags and things. That was not a problem. So that's good. The feel or the quality of the fabric produced, I feel like it was a very nice, warm fabric. To me, it really felt almost like it had a cottony feel. Where's my box for you? There you go. Must be this one. It had, oh yeah, that's written a 4 on it. It had a nice, it has almost a cottony feel on the hand, but it has such a wool-like look when it's worked up, and almost a nice dense wool-like feel to the fabric without having any wool. So if that's something you're looking for, I think that's a plus. At $2.99, that's a good value for your crafting dollar. At $6.99, I think that's a fair price given the yarn market currently. I don't think I would buy it at that price. I would wait for it to go on sale. At $2.99, I would buy it. As I said, right now it's on sale for $2.99, but when I looked at it, it said under availability to ship, it was unavailable to ship. So that's an issue here. I'm going to put a little extra lotion. So how to rate this one? I think we have to look at this as a yarn for two separate crafts. If I were looking at this as a knitter, it had splitting tendencies. Yes, I cannot deny that at all. But it was very much easier for me to use on my knitting needles. The splitting was not much of an issue, and so I had absolutely no problem with it knitting, and I think I would give it a nice 7 out of 10 kitty paws as a knitter. As a crocheter, you saw the struggle I had there with it splitting. I can't recommend this to crocheters. If you don't mind struggling with that splitting, and I don't think it was that necessarily visible on the fabric once I did it. The fabric, I thought I had nice stitch definition. I didn't really show it off too well before I frogged it. I apologize there, but I'll be honest, I was a little frustrated with the splitting there. And so to work with that on an entire project, especially a large one, I don't think I could get over it. I think it would be far too frustrating for me. And so I'm personally going to give it a 2 out of 10 paws as a crocheter. Would not recommend. I don't think at $2.99 it's cheap for a yarn, but you're buying that splitty frustration, and I don't think it's worth it. Not as a crocheter. So there you go. As a knitting yarn, I would give it a nice 7 out of 10. I thought I liked the look of the fabric when I made my item. I don't have my item because I have gifted it. I liked the feel of the fabric it created. I thought it was a very nice wool-like substitute for those who have wool issues. As a crocheter, no. There are so many other nice, lovely to use yarns out there. Put your energy into those and walk away. Just walk away. Okay. So have you guys tried the Fleck? At this point, it's been out for a while, so I would expect a number of people to have used it. And if you are a crocheter, did you have similar splitting struggles as me? So I was using a Furls inline hook. That is the type of hook I am generally more successful at using. If I split yarns that shouldn't split, it's normally because I'm using a tapered hook and I'm just jabbing through. So I don't think I can blame the hook on that one. But yeah, I would love to know your experience crocheting with it. And I feel like I said, if you could get over the splitting, it would make a lovely item. And I do have, so I've got this leftover ball. I've got a number of other balls of this. I will try to crochet something up and see. Probably a hat, so I know the frustration is minimal if it happens. And kind of report back. I'll probably give you feedback in a weekly roundup or something like that. But yeah, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts if you have tried this yarn. So I will leave it at that. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.